4 hours. We were walking around, about 20 food savers around the whole festival, collecting the food. And it was everything, like from cooked meals, about the raw material that was already cutted or that was not cutted, bread, oil, everything you can imagine, herbs, salt, everything. And then after this 4 hours, these 20 people take food with them. Then about 40 people came to also take food. And there was still left 2 till 3 Volkswagen transporters, like big transporters. And that was something when I saw that, and it's really hard at Christmas, it's the day before Christmas, 23rd of December. And it's very hard to share that to people and give it to people because a lot of people are with their families, so they're not in Munich anymore, or their freezers are full. So it was not easy for the responsible food saver to make it, but she made it anyway. And then I was thinking, like, there's so much food, and I'm so sure that on Christmas there are people that don't have enough food. So, and this was the moment that inspired me to create this my Christmas dinner. It's every year now on 24th of December. We're doing it in cooperation with the Maria Hilf Church. It's in Au-Heidhausen in Munich, and from 6 till 8 p.m. we give people food, but it's not like we're giving it to them and eat it on your own, because what I'm always selling to all the helpers and voluntary helpers with me, that I'm saying it's not about the food is just the method we're doing is, but it's more about time. So we're sitting together with the people, we're listening to their stories, we're telling our stories, and we're having amazing food. And we are cooking it for 2 days. It's the 23rd and the 24th. We're cooking it, and last year we had about 270 people there. It was very huge. It's about 2 locations, and it's just a lot of fun. And after this Christmas event, I always need some days to get to myself again, and not just because of the workload, but also because of all the moments that you have with the helpers and also with the guests that are there. So if anybody wants to join that or do it in their city, please do it. Okay, it gives you so much, and it's really turning you back to what Christmas is about giving and not taking. So yes, what I wanted to say is that yes, we're also taking cooked meals. So if you are now somewhere and saying, I don't know if I can join the organization FoodSharing, we are in whole Germany, so you can look in your city if there is this organization. If not, you can start it. But what you can also do is you can just go to a store in your neighborhood and ask them if they will give you some food. Why? Because they are saving costs of waste. When you take the food, then they don't have to pay for it when they have it in their waste bin. So this is something that is really good. Also, a lot of store owners know that it's not good to waste it, so they also want it from the moral point to do it, so from ethical point. So just ask. There can just be a no, but nothing else, and perhaps there can be a yes, and then you're saving the world. So it's so easy. One thing where I feel like we're missing it in Germany is absolutely that what I'm not seeing or what I'm missing in Germany is a little bit more political activity in that topic. Why? Because usually the politics say it's not in our power to change something. Everybody can change it because you, citizen, you can decide what you do with your money. Okay, I buy it. Perfect. But there are processes that I don't see. And one of the process is, for example, if I go to Viktualienmarkt, and perhaps you know the Viktualienmarkt, it's in the center of Munich. It's a famous open air market with all the good stuff. And if you go there and you go there with, one moment here, how about right now? Yes. Yes, they are throwing away nowadays. We're still saving. Absolutely. Absolutely. We had like 2 weeks where it was less because people were buying. But after 2 weeks, we returned to normality, fortunately, normality, because it was funny in those 2 weeks when Corona was like in all the media, people also bought apples like this. And after 2 weeks, they're not buying it anymore. So we are still saving it. Or again, saving it. What I wanted to say is about this political thing, because if you're going with your bicycle and a bag of curtain, or like a sustainable bag to the Viktualienmarkt and buying some strawberries in a paper packaging, then you feel like you did something right, correct? You did it good, like you saved the world because you used your bicycle, you used a sustainable bag, and you bought strawberries open, not in plastic, in a sustainable bag, perhaps also a little bit of regional, perhaps, I don't know. So, but what you don't see is that if you buy those strawberries were not just in a paper bag. They were in a plastic bag to be protected. Those plastic bags were as 8 or 10 strawberry bags in one cartonnage. Then those were filled up until there was a tower of strawberries. In between, there was styropor, like this material that is a little bit squeezy and protects the strawberries to get rotten during the transport and to get like some edges. And this was wrapped in plastic several times so that when it comes from Almeria, South Spain, where they don't have so much groundwater anymore left because of these fruit production, to come to us to Munich to be presented in an open air market. So this is something that you can't see, that you don't see as a consumer. And I can just tell you, if you go into a supermarket and you're buying stuff in the area where it's called like, hey, sustainable and all open, it was wrapped before. It was somehow wrapped before. And that means you can't decide with your money 100% what is sustainable and what not. And this is where I criticize politics, because I feel if our politics won't be so, how it's called in English, if they would dare more, shy, if they won't be so shy, then they could inspire for innovation. I know for some companies that they say we already have more climate friendly solutions. But why should we use that? If we use it now, then it just takes us profit. So as long as the politics doesn't want us to use it, we don't do it. And yes, this is not a good attitude, but therefore I think this is the reason why there is politics, isn't it? To protect us. And protecting us doesn't mean to give us all the food that we are overeating. No, give us the water, the clean air, the good vegetables and fruits that we can eat and be healthy and stay healthy for that. And there are some really good films that I would like to give you as idea. There's one on YouTube. It's German. I don't know if you understand it, but I think also the pictures are very impressive. It's from Klaus Kleber, moderator from ZDF, the second channel in Germany. And he made 2 documentations. One is called Hunger, and one is called Durst. And these are free on YouTube, and they are amazing to understand this whole global interference about food production. That imagine we're getting, and this is something that happened to me. I'm someone who is always daring to do bigger than she should, perhaps, and sometimes it gets me in trouble. But anyway, I come out of this with a lot of experience. And in the week where I watched these 2 documentaries, Klaus Kleber, documentary Hunger and Durst, yes. And Klaus, it's written with a C, yes. And when I watched these 2 documentaries in 1 week, in the same week I went to a supermarket, and in this supermarket I saved 140 kilo strawberries. Why I know that? Because there were this 1 kilo packages, and one strawberry was rotten. So I put that out and filled that in with a good one. And I had 140 of these 1 kilo packages. And then I looked where they come from. And they come from Almeria, South Spain. And in this documentary, they're talking about how less water this area has for its citizens because of this food production. And I can't tell you, but it hurt me physically. This information hurt me physically because I really felt the pressure of what we're doing there, of this chaos, of this unlogical food processes that nobody can understand and monitor it. And so for me, it's a farce. It's like a joke if the politics says, hey, user, you have to fix it with your purchasing power. I can't fix that. I don't know it, so I can't fix that. And I mean, right now I feel if you want to have a healthy life, a fair life, a sustainable life, whatever, then you have to study these things, You have to know about food waste, you have to know about food production, you have to know about production processes from fashion, etc. And so I feel that it's a little bit too much, and it could be so easy. Why? There's another film, it's called The Ecological Rebels from Himalaya. And this film was awarded by Salus Median Prize. Raya, I will answer on this later. Salus Media Prize, Media Award. And this German filmer, he showed a state in the Himalaya. It's an Indian state. And the prime minister said 12 years ago, now 13 years ago, he said, in 15 years, I want my country to just have ecological food anymore, nothing else, just ecological food. And what he did was, he just didn't gave funds for farmers to change from conventional to ecological agriculture, but he also prohibit that any type of conventional food can be produced or sold or traded or whatever consumed in that country. And 12 years later, he wanted to do that in 12 years later, they achieved. This country now is 100% ecological agriculture. And I feel, how much do you love your citizens that you just want them to consume the best nature can give? And I feel really like it's working, and now I know critical people will say, yeah, but the Himalayan Indian state is sure smaller than Germany, for example. Hey, but it's like a startup. You start small and then you scale it up. So I think that we have inside of our minds and hearts and backbone, we have enough potential that we can do that if we want it. And I was at the Biofach this year because I have a startup. It's called Fruitiverse. We're doing the first real fruit gummies made of 100% ecological fresh fruits, organic. And it's on fruitiverse.de. And we were there, and there were 2 people came from Sikkim. It's called Sikkim, the state, and they had buttons on their jacket. And I saw that, and I was like, oh, "Are you from this amazing state?" And they say, "Yes, we are." And I was like, "Okay, tell me, how is it?" And they say, "It's good, it's cool." And then they say, "We are also, by the way, we are also plastic free." And I was like, "I'm moving there." It's so great, I mean, like, it's working. It can be. We can have another world. So it's all within us. And yes, and parallel at the Biofach, it was that Mrs. Klöckner from our agricultural ministry on German level, that she said she wants to permit again food that has pesticides inside that until now are not permitted in the European Union. And I felt like, why? Why? Don't we have enough food in Germany? Don't we have? And also, yeah, this is sorry, sometimes I'm really getting energetic about this topic because it's so powerful. But again, Raya, what did you ask? And please, if you have any questions, please just ask them here, okay? I try to answer it as good as I can. What if the packaging is necessary to preserve fruits from rotting? Yeah. I understand it's a topic in organic foods, especially that they say they need this wrapping, because if not, then bacteria from other fruits can jump onto the organic fruits and then they will rot earlier. I'm absolutely with you. We will need protection because we are so far from these agricultural processes that we don't grow mangoes here. So the mangoes come from somewhere and they're coming and get by plane or somehow to Germany, and then packaging is good. What I'm just thinking is we should think about, are there not alternatives to what we have right now? And there is some innovation stuff. It's a spray where you give the fruit an atmosphere of carbon dioxide. And if you do that, then it's like it stays in his status. And that's, I think, this is something that would be food wasteless. And, you know, perhaps that there is the possibility to laser stickers into the peel of the fruit, so you don't need the stickers and stuff like this. What I'm always trying to inspire people is just if you imagine how much, just if you go to a supermarket and you see perhaps that they are throwing away 3 bananas, then you feel like it's just 3 bananas. But then imagine, okay, how many supermarkets are just in Munich or in your city? And then imagine in Germany, in Europe, in the world. And in that moment, you feel how much we throw away. And this is just something that we see. It's not all the thing that we don't see. And this is where I feel like getting more conscious about this topic helps us a lot to improve our lives. And if still there are some people here that say, Günes, again, it's just about food waste, then I'm trying my last link. And this is what I told you, how the strawberries are packaged to come from Almeria to Germany without any damages. And if you feel like, what did you saw in your supermarket today, for example? Did you saw blueberries from Chile, bananas from Uruguay, whatever you see? Then imagine one thing: what resources are inside of this food? Like, I mean, people seeded it, they gave water, they collected it, they made something like put a sticker on it or whatever, they washed it, they packaged it, it came per plane to us that is really fresh, still fresh. Perhaps it was in freezers before, so energy was used also. There were all stuff of pollution in the air because of the planes, and they came here to just get thrown away into the waste. And so if food is still nothing that touches your heart, then perhaps the plastic in the sea is something that touches your heart. Because these 168,000 kilo that we are wasting every day as an end consumer in Munich, this is a number that we evaluated with the Agricultural Ministry of Bavaria. These 168,000 kilo, they were packaged for nothing. For nothing. And this waste is somewhere. It gets burned, it gets into some seas or whatever. So again, where we started before and where we're ending now is that food waste is a topic that it's not something for poor people, what is always combined, if you know the organization Die Tafeln, because they're doing the same work as we do. They're collecting food that would be thrown away, and then they're giving it to poor people. And the other thing is, it's nothing that should be in waste bins, like containera. People that are doing illegal stuff in Germany, that they are going into supermarkets' backyards and going into the waste bins and putting out the food that they throw away. It has nothing to do with that anymore. It's, if you look at drawdown.org, it's in the middle of our society. Everybody of us has to know about food waste and the impact on our climate. And so the moment that you're starting to get conscious about this topic, talk to people, please, about this topic, observe people, what they are doing. It's sometimes so interesting to see people, how they act with food, you know, also in your private environment, but also in the public, that people eat half of the doner of gyros and then throw it away. And then you think like, why? You could eat it today evening or tomorrow. I don't know. I don't like it when it's getting cold. Okay. The cow also doesn't want to be dead, you know, stuff like that. So, what I mean is there is such a space for improvement and such a space for innovations in every kind. And you can really start on your own at home, and you can start in your companies, because what I'm always motivating in companies is to do a thing that is called a Verteiler. It's like a refrigerator and a fridge and a shelf that you can put somewhere central, and then people can put their food inside that they don't want to eat anymore, and others can take that for free. And you can do that in an organization. I'm now trying to do that on pilot projects in schools in Munich. So if that pilot is going successful, then we will do that on more schools than just 1 or 2 right now. But you can do it in your companies or in companies of your friends and whatever. And you can do public distribution centers, I would say, sharing points where people that you don't know can come and put something. And in Munich, we have about 3 of these sharing points. One is at Eine Welthaus in Schwanthaler Straße near Stachus Hauptbahnhof, main station. The other one is at Kreativquartier, Brauchbar. And another one is at, I don't know the street right now, and I forgot how the company's name is, but there is a third one. You can find all on foodsharing.de or foodsharing-münchen.de. So do you have any questions left? Or are you now overeaten at home and falling asleep from my speech? Let me know. Do you have any question? I don't want you to go with questions in your mind. Or do you have ideas for the community? Anything that you like, that you dislike, please give me feedback. I'm looking forward to it, as I really enjoyed talking to you guys. Okay, so I'm just waiting a little bit, and I will get better in that format. I think I have to watch other Instagram TV formats if people are just waiting and waiting or not. Yes. If you are interested in Thea, perhaps we can give the links afterwards, or under this TV spot, we could give that. Yes, there's something called Kartoffelkombinat, also very good. Yes, thank you very much. Food wasteless Easter. Yeah, this is something that I also wish you all. Okay. Yes, there are a lot of initiatives, so this is also something good. What I can just give you as the end motivation, perhaps, and now listen carefully. You know how babies are made. You know that? Okay, if you don't know, I will explain it to you. There's the egg of the mother, and there are millions of sperms of the father. You know that. Listen to me carefully. Yes? Okay. And what happens is, and now I have a problem because I need both hands. How can I do that? One moment. I'm trying something. I'm trying to put you somewhere. Okay. Okay. Like this. Okay. You have the egg and you have the sperms. And then the sperms make a race and they want to get to this egg. And one of the sperms made it into this egg. And what happens is a baby comes out of this. And one of these babies were you. So you were born as a winner. So when you think that you're not able to change something in life and society, then you're wrong. Let me say that to you. Because you were born as a winner. So please, just change whatever you don't like. Just start today and you will be amazed where you will come out in 1, 2, or 5 years. But make the start, okay? I'm looking forward to it. Have a great Easter holidays, and if you want to contact me, you can do that wherever you want. Okay? Okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you all for joining.